training.
Hello.
Hello.
It's not working again. Hi.
Okay. Just trying to get us onto Facebook. Ray. Oh, it's working. Wonderful. Yay, this is so much fun. Okay. We'll see if anyone else pops on. A couple of the girls had to cancel and then we were able to fill their spots, but we'll see how many people pop on today. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Brittany Butt. I'm the queen of content and I help female entrepreneurs to get rich with their content using organic social media marketing strategies. This is how you get paid. This is how you show up in the world. And if you're showing up, you should be getting paid for it. The way that people are buying right now is changing so much. People are more savvy when it comes to buying from online entrepreneurs, especially coaches. People are more resistant, especially where right now it seems like we are headed into a recession, which, friends, recessions are human made. So don't stop buying things because the sooner everyone stops buying things, the sooner the recession hits us and the harder it hits us because we just make it ourselves. And so, you know, the typical ways of marketing aren't working the way they used to be working. I've been in this industry for a few years now. I see lots of women that are multiple 6, even 7-figure earners seeing huge dips in their income and trying to figure out how to correct for it and how to fix it and what's going wrong. And it's not that anything's going wrong, it's just that the industry is changing. And so we need to be able to follow what the markets are doing, follow what the industries are doing, follow what the shifts are going to be so that we can stay relevant. I think that we're going to see so many, especially coaches, drop off over the next 12 months. That's my prediction for 2023. We're going to see a lot of people that had coaching businesses and service-based businesses, drop off of the face of the planet because they couldn't keep up. They couldn't afford to continue to run their businesses, and they did not adapt in a way that still made money for them. And so that's what I'm here to do. Every one of my clients that has gotten coaching from me, my friends, my colleagues, when I've given them tips on how to, shift some of their marketing, they're immediately getting clients from it, booking new consults, filling out their offers. And it's just like, it's fun for me, but that's why we're doing Content-A-Thon. So you guys can get a little taste of what it's like to work with me, a little taste of what it's like to shift your content a little bit and see, my thought process. Because when we work together for 6 months, every week we meet for 45 minutes and we kind of batch out your content for the week. So you don't have to stress about what you're going to say and what you're going to do and how it's going to sound. You're just going to be able to write it and post it and feel really good about it. Trust that it's working, trust that you're saying the right things, and remove all of that stress and anguish off of your plate. And, we also talk about reels and trending audios. I curate custom things for my clients so that they can be relevant and go viral and get fully booked on their offers. And so this just kind of gives you a little sneak peek of what that's like to see my brain work. And so far today we have Johanna and Nicole, which I'm super excited to talk to both of them. Johanna, we'll do you first, babe, if you're available right there.
I am. Unfortunately, my camera is not working, which I'm kind of bummed about because I just spent 30 minutes getting ready to be on camera.
Oh no. Why do you think it's not working? Mine did that the other day.
I don't know. It's my work laptop, so sometimes it's really particular on when it decides to function.
What a pain. Well, I'm sure you look beautiful as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Joanna is a coach, but it seems like since the last time we spoke, maybe some shifts have happened in who your ideal clients are.
Yeah, a little bit. So before, I think I was targeting particular on specifically moms who are starting up businesses, and just really kind of digging into that piece of like how to set it up and get going and stuff like that.
Yep.
And now I'm really targeting just women in general. If you own a business, great, or if you have like this really big goal, just kind of help you uncover what's really holding you back. More so along those lines.
Okay. I love this. Yes. So it sounds more like confidence.
Yeah, confidence, owning yourself. I'm really big into that right now.
Have you like labeled yourself as something?
I have not
That's
great with
okay.
labels right now.
That's okay. You really don't have to, honestly. At this phase and where everything is changing so much, you really don't have to have like a fancy, like, oh, I'm this. Because honestly, no one really cares what you call yourself behind closed doors. They just want a transformation. Okay, so you talked a lot about in your questions that I had everyone answer is that they struggle to believe in themselves. There's some trauma work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so interesting. I think trauma is such an important piece of existing because we all kind of have various traumas in our lives. We tend to downplay our traumas, like, oh, well, it wasn't that thing. So what happened to me is not a big deal, So we kind of, there's definitely like a spectrum that you want to be able to be speaking to in your content, right? And so these women that are coming to you, like you talked a lot, and I know this was like 3 weeks ago about like bank accounts and income. But now you're saying it's just women and it's just confidence. So is there some entrepreneurship work in there? Or
Definitely.
is it,
Sorry.
no, that's okay.
Yeah, I think they're tied. So I don't know if I want to target entrepreneurs specifically. I think that's definitely something I have to dive into. But I want to target like the individual who they have these big dreams. And they've always had these big dreams, but they've always kind of like talked themselves out of it. Like, oh, that would be amazing. I would love to do this, but I can't. And they'll list off like 17 different things right away. And just I guess the thing that really gets me going is when people give up before they even try. And so I guess that's kind of the people that I want to target that are like, they recognize that in themselves and that's something that they want to overcome.
I love that. So what would you say the like big result is that these women get when they work with you?
The big result is they get the confidence and belief in themselves to go after whatever they want without giving up on themselves. It's kind of a way to get rid of the doubt, the self-doubt, the self-sabotaging, and really own and believe in yourself.
Ah, this is amazing. Okay, and you do this 6 months one-on-one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is perfect. Okay. So on the first week that I did this, I shared, and I shared it last week too. The big thing, like we often get caught up in like, I have to sell tangibles. Like as
Yes.
a business coach, I have to sell like bank accounts, dollars, luxury vacations, fancy shoes, fancy bags, all of those things. And like when we think of like the big three things that you're selling, so it's health, wealth, or relationships, right? So when you think of like relationships, you often immediately go to couples. Oh, we're going to do couples therapy. We're going to save your marriage, or we're going to find you love, or we're going to help you through your divorce. And then when we think about the health, we immediately go to weight loss because we're just conditioned that way. Unfortunately, we're like, okay, you're going to lose 10 pounds in 30 days without diets or weight loss supplements or pills or working out. None of the things that you want to do. You're just going to lose the weight and it's going to be amazing. You just have to hire me here, right? And so that's kind of like what's been shoved down our throats for most of, well, the last few years of selling in the online space is sell them the tangible, sell them the tangible, sell them the tangible. When really what I teach and believe at my core is that people want the emotion because people buy things because of how it makes them feel or how they think it's going to make them feel. And that goes from investments to the house they buy and the location they buy it, the type of car they buy, the food that they buy, everything we buy because we think it's going to make us feel a certain way. And when it comes to us as service providers, the big thing that we are selling is freedom.
Freedom.
At the core of every single thing, the people that are hiring us want to feel free from something. So yeah, even like, let's just jump really quickly back to like weight loss. And you're like, hey, you're going to lose 10 pounds. There is a ton of freedom in losing 10 pounds. And it's the freedom of worrying if people are looking at you and thinking you're fat. It's the freedom of people, wondering if your clothes are going to fit when you wake up, or spending however long standing in front of your closet trying to figure out, what am I going to wear today? Do I look bad? Pulling up your jeans to cover your pooch if it rolls down, all of this stuff, feeling really bad about yourself, thinking your husband doesn't find you desirable, all these awful things. We want to be free from that. And so with you, I would put you in the relationship category for self, not couples. Like, this is a relationship with yourself, and the freedom that you are helping them get away from is the negative self-talk in their minds. Everybody wants to be free from that negative self-talk in their minds, the things that keep them from going after their dreams, the things that keep them from even showing up a little bit in the world. You're invited to a party and you don't even go because you're worried of what everyone else is going to think of you, and you're just being super mean to yourself. You don't look good. Your hair you need to get your roots done. You need to lose some weight. You don't have the right clothes. You should just stay home. And unfortunately, and you can use this stat in your content, I use it in my content all the time, but we have between like 60 and 120,000 thoughts in the run of a day. And something like 80% of them are recycled from yesterday, and something like 60% of them are negative towards ourselves. So how many women do we know that are giving up before they try? And so when it comes to you and your content, I would be talking about all of these types of things, right? The negative self-talk. What are some of the things that your ideal clients, and I would have you kind of make a list of different big goals that you mentioned to me, these big dreams. And they don't all have to be financial, but I would make a list of some of the big dreams people have hired you for, or you've helped people with, or even your own. And then I would work through how that manifested, doing a like now and then style model, which I talked about that in the first and second week, but I'll talk about it again. Their now is what's going on in their current lives, and right, their current problems are the things that are the forefront of their minds. And so for you specifically, these women have a whole lot of negative self-talk going on in their minds. So like, let's pretend they do want to start a business, like for simplicity's sake. Or I mean, you could even go the weight loss thing again. Like, immediately she's going to be negative about herself, about showing up. If I go to the gym, people are going to look at me and think that I'm gross. Someone's going to video me and put it on the internet. Right. And so we immediately just start quiet quitting on our dreams before we even start. Same with starting a business. People are going to think, who the hell do I think I am? I can't do this. I'm not qualified for this. I'm not good enough for this. No one's going to buy from me. Like, who's going to buy from me? Maybe my mom. This is ridiculous. Right. And so their now is that type of thoughts. And so I want you to do that for each one of these like big dreams that they may have. Like I said, it could be weight loss. It could be starting a business. It could even be like jumping out of a plane. I have this big dream of jumping out of a plane. I think it'd be so exhilarating. And guess what? It's going to be similar things. Maybe I should lose weight. Or what if I die? Or what if I can't afford it? Or what if everyone thinks I'm stupid and they make fun of me and like call me like Evil Knievel behind my back and like make fun of me because I want to jump out of this plane, right? But we want to be free from all of that bullshit. And so then you do the then portion of the now and then, which is after they hire you, what happens? You are the answer to their problems. You help them work through all of that mental bullshit that's spinning like a hamster on a wheel that just won't give up, that's telling her you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, something's wrong with you, you can't have this. If you hit this random invented goal, then maybe you're worthy enough of this. So I would definitely go through some if-then thought models for your clients. Like, oh, if I get one client, then I'll decide to go all in on my business. Or if I lose 10 pounds, then I'll go skydiving. Or who knows? Or if I get asked out on the date, then I'll go on some more dating apps and try to find the man of my dreams. Or, you know, we always have this, well, if this random thing happens to me, then I'm going to take that as a sign to do the thing. And we have to help our clients to realize that they're worthy enough right now to have those things. And that realistically, by working through the crap that's going through their minds and going after the things, the if then is usually reversed. Like, if you felt better about yourself and you felt more confident about yourself, you probably would lose the 10 pounds. It's not the other way around. I'll feel better when I lose 10 pounds, or I'll feel better when I get a client. You got to feel better now to get the clients. You got to feel better now, and then you'll lose the weight because you'll feel motivated and happy and excited, right? And so you want to be able to position yourself as the answer to their problems, going, when you work with me, here's the other side of that. Here's how you're going to feel. Here are the things you're going to think about yourself. And here are the results that you can expect. How's that?
Love it.
Yeah. So because you do like a lot of confidence, that's why I said I would go through some of the results and then go through what's going on for them now, what's going to go on after they hire you, and then make those really great offers, like book a call with you. This is what it looks like when you book a call with me. We're going to chat about your big goals, what you think is standing in your way. I'm going to identify the areas for improvement that I can see. And then we're going to talk about what it looks like to work together. And then because it's confidence and you do work with so many women, having those different big results that people want, you can talk to a lot of target people in your content. Like for me, like doing business, I only talk about business and the results of working with me for their businesses. Absolutely. Other things happen in their lives, their marriages get improved, the stress is alleviated, all of these great things. They can go on to even lose weight if they want to. But like, I'm just selling this one piece of the vision where you're selling a lot of different visions, which is beautiful. I don't think you have to niche down at all. Because again, at the end of the day, everyone just wants to feel free.
Thank you. I think that's where I was struggling the most, is the message is always, you got to pick one, and I don't want to.
Then don't. I think everything that we've been told is just going out the window at this point.
Perfect.
Yeah, don't pick one. Like you're a confidence coach for women, whatever that looks like for them. Maybe they want to speak on stages and they're scared, but they really want to. Okay. Joanna, you can help them with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. How do you feel about all of that?
I feel really good. Yeah, because I feel really, really good because that's what I've been doing. I haven't been like, I need to solve this particular problem. It's more like the process. Like, okay, this is your goal. This is where you are right now, and helping them like make a plan, see it through, come up with those roadblocks, get through them together. Like, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank-
Another big thing that we're going to be seeing in the industry, which I'm already seeing, and you may even notice the way that I've been speaking about working with me, is that people are not just buying into the vision anymore. People actually want the implementation, because so many people have been burned buying visions and then not getting the support required for them to actually implement. So sharing more of the process is really helpful for people to see how clear and simple it is to work with you to get what they want.
That actually makes me more excited. As an engineering nerd, process is my jam.
Well, keep it really like basic, boring terms,
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
because the way you and I would have a conversation and the way you and your ideal client would have a conversation is super different, because you would also be speaking to people who have never really been in the coaching industry. Like, I remember when I came into the coaching industry, I was confused most of the time because people were just like using jargon and they would be like, copy. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Right. So just like making sure that when you talk about your process, you make it like you explained it to one of your kids. They'd be like, yeah, mom, I know exactly what you're saying.
So practice having coaching calls with my kids.
Maybe, but if you feel like you've got like a little jargony, just like, okay, what's like the boring word for this? And like, that's not just for you, that's for everyone that's watching, because we tend to do that, especially in like network marketing, where we're like, I'm a triple diamond jubilee. The average person's like, what is that? Like, good for you. That's amazing. I don't know what that is. And because they don't have any idea what that is, it's not appealing. But for the other people in the industry, they're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Right? So we just got to make sure that we're boring.
Be boring. Well, that one I got down, so we're good.
Yes. Awesome. Anything else? Do you have any questions about what I just shared? Are you feeling good?
Sorry, you froze.
Oh, that's not good. Hopefully it doesn't do it again. I said, do you have any questions about what I just said, or are you feeling good?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling excited to sit down and get some content out.
Yes. Let me know if you need any help.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. So fun. Okay, next up is Lisa. Lisa, if you are available. So Lisa is in the health and wellness industry, so a lot of what I just said was probably super applicable to her.
Yeah. Hi, thank you for
Hi.
having me. Hi.
Absolutely. Happy to have you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the health and wellness industry and I help women lose 15 to 25 pounds within 12 weeks without dieting, without counting calories, without, exhaustive workouts.
Huh.
And so that's what I do.
That's amazing. Okay. And so I really want to talk to you. I know this is supposed to be about content, but like the business coach in me has so many questions about your offer.
Yeah. I started doing it like kind of automated. So I recorded, a little like workshop on my phone. But I call it a fun shop. So it's not like
Huh.
work, it's more like fun and I have fun with it. And it includes all the, all the goodies, all the worksheets and all the, PDFs and cheat sheets and all that. So I have like an automated like fun shop. And then I wrote like like a book, like an ebook.
Mhm.
And so I haven't done one-on-ones, but those two things I kind of packaged up together. I did, there's two different ones, but so I did those two items, and I don't really have like a high ticket offer or a one-on-one offer or a group coaching offer, but I do have like the fun shop and I have the, DIY book.
How much is the fun shop?
It is. I did it, kind of as a lead in. So I just made it so far it's been like 150. I should probably go up, but Yeah, it was just 150 because I wanted to get my feet wet and get in the door. And so, I haven't sold a lot of my stuff. I've only sold like three, like two ebooks and one fun shop, just to like acquaintances on my Facebook page. And I like hit a wall. So, yeah,
Yeah. How much is the book?
it is $47 for an ebook.
Okay. So a lot of people, like I was saying to Johanna, they want the implementation now. Like, I'm going to give you more stats. 97% of people that set New Year's resolutions fail.
Yeah.
And the reason is that we as humans cannot hold ourselves accountable. Like, we are the most wild, rebellious, and rogue individuals when we are trying to be responsible for ourselves. We're just like, that's silly. I'm not doing any of that. And
Yeah.
so people want, like, okay, they're going to buy this 2.5-hour fun shop. If I were you, and this is completely unsolicited advice, I would turn it into like 5 or 6, like 20-minute videos,
Okay.
because the average person is not going to watch a 2.5-hour workshop.
Okay.
Like, most people won't even watch a 3-hour Marvel movie. Really hot
Okay.
guys, right? And so, like, it's a lot of information. And even if someone sat there and watched the whole thing and like made a bunch of notes, they're going to be like, wow, thanks, Lisa. And then they're going to close their book. They're never going to open it again. They're never going to watch the workshop again. And they're just going to keep doing the same crappy decisions that they're currently making.
Yeah. I included like a tracker so that it shows them like if they get off course, what to do next and that kind of thing. But yeah, 20-minute videos, like 5 or 6 of them, that sounds good.
And like, you don't even have to re-record it.
Okay.
Cut it. Because I'm
Okay.
sure you have like different topics that you talk about. I would
Yeah.
be like, what are the topics I talk about? I would snip it and put like a screen, like a intro screen for each one, and I would sell it like that. And then that way people can just like watch them at their leisure, not worry about losing their place.
Okay.
Watch them at an order if they feel like they want to or need to. And I would sell it like that. But I mean, that's not a make or break situation. The make or break situation here is that you want to be making money.
Yeah.
So why don't you have like a one-on-one or a group offer yet?
Why don't I?
Yeah.
Because I've tried putting my, like inviting people to work with me one-on-one. I've even offered like free 30-minute assessment, just to people on my like Facebook and Instagram. And I've had a really hard time getting, maybe it's because nobody on my socials is my target, client, but
Oh.
maybe so I've tried putting it out there, offer for one-on-one even for free, and I haven't gotten any bites.
Why do you think that your audience has no ideal clients in it?
Probably because I haven't gone and like friend requested people in my, that are my ideal client, probably.
But you know what? I think you probably have more people than you think, because I would love to lose 15 pounds. And I
Yeah.
have no desire to stop eating the way I eat or working out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly where I was too. So I totally understand.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm just like, here, I'm just gonna pay you and you just like make some magic happen. And I just want to like wake up smaller, please.
There's
Like,
effort involved, but yeah.
of course there is. But that's how most people probably think. So I think that you
Yeah.
probably have tons of people in your following that would love to lose some weight.
Well, I put my offer out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm not saying. But I'll post a story and then an offer at the bottom to, reach out to me.
Yeah.
I offered for Black Friday, I offered, a free 30-minute assessment with like a free guide to help them, be able to eat treats during the holidays without sacrificing results. And I, even extended it through Tuesday, and I didn't get anything. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
So
So here's some more stats. People need to see something from you between 8 and 12 times before they are going to feel ready and like they have enough information to buy it. And so let's pretend that you said it 8 times. That's still not enough, because that 8 times is assuming that everyone that's ideal in your audience saw it each time, and they didn't. People have, there are like a handful of different like social media habits that people fall into. And it, I mean, you can go like, oh, boomers. Like if boomers are your ideal client, which they're probably not, it's probably millennial moms and like Gen X and maybe even some Gen Z moms. But like, let's pretend it's boomers. Like my parents are boomers. They go days, if not weeks, if not months, without being on social media at all.
yeah.
Right. And so you've really got to be like hammering to see if you're going to even hit those people. But then you've got people like our generation where, we're in our early 30s, early 40s, maybe late 40s. I feel like that's probably around your demographic. Okay. And so we fall into a few different categories where like some of them are like weirdos, like my husband. He's 34. He does not have social media at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you'll never get him, but you're gonna get me as a stay-at-home mom who runs her own business. I'm on social media all of the time. And so like if you were to put out twice a day, I would probably see at least one. I would definitely see one, if not both. But most people don't work from home. Most people have jobs and children. And so you've got the people that are online in the morning, like before they start their day. And usually if they're on in the morning, they're probably on around lunchtime. And then they're probably on in the evenings, but they might not be on until like after their kids go to bed. So they're only online like 2 to 3 times a day for like a quick scroll.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're putting out one offer a day, but then there's also people that are kind of like in the middle, right? Like they don't check it in the morning because they're like, I get up, I go to the gym, I get my kids, and I don't check until mid-morning when I have like my coffee break. Well, if you posted at like 7 a.m. trying to get the parents that are on doing a quick scroll before getting their kids out the door, before walking out the door themselves, they missed it.
Yeah.
Like the 10 a.m. coffee run people missed it, right? But if you wait until the 10 a.m. coffee run people, you missed all those morning people. And if those morning people don't come on until lunchtime, now you've missed them, right? So because there are so many different social media habits that people have and kind of fall into these categories, it's like I shared the story of my son. He's 8 and he went to like a laser tag party and he had the most targets, like he had the highest score. He also had the most number of shots that didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
And so when you're putting out content, like I know everyone's like, oh, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that. But back in the old days when we used to actually watch TV and we couldn't fast forward, how many times would you see like the Six Flags commercial with the creepy the young guy in the old guy suit and the annoying music? We all remember that. How many times did we see a McDonald's commercial? How many times did we see whatever Ford commercials, right? Like we were like peppered. We could repeat them. They became part of our pop culture because they were just so in our faces all of the time, but we're literally sitting there watching it. Like if McDonald's only put out a commercial in the morning, then when I got home from school at 3 o'clock and I'm sitting there like watching my after school specials, my Sailor Moon, McDonald's isn't getting me at all. I don't know anything about Happy Meals. Right?
Yeah.
They're like constantly putting those things in front of us, but because we're women and we're told to like sit down, shut up, be quiet, like don't be seen, don't be heard, people don't want to be sold to, blah, blah, blah. We're
Yeah.
afraid to show up in big, bold ways and make lots of offers. But realistically, you want to be doing that. You want to be putting out multiple pieces of content a day. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. I just want to make money. This is how you make money. Like if you want to have a cushy 6-figure business, and this isn't just at you, Lisa, this is for everybody. If you want to have a cushy 6-figure company that you're managing and you have consistent clients coming in, then this is your job. And this is where your time and energy and effort needs to be going into creating content that's good and making offers to those people to let them know that they can hire you. And so
Okay.
the biggest things, like number one, is how often are you showing up? I've had lots of clients where they're like, I showed up every day. And I'm like, let's look. And then we find out they didn't show up every day. One of my dear clients, she's been with me for 2 years and she's been trying to sell this course that she's doing. And she's like, I really feel like I showed up so much. And we went and looked and I was like, you made 2 offers in 11 days.
Ah,
But we
okay.
feel like because we're sitting there scrolling and we're consuming, and especially if you're bouncing between Facebook and Instagram and maybe even TikTok, and if you're on YouTube and you're checking your emails and maybe you're on Pinterest, we feel like we're doing so much when really we're just doing a ton of consuming and rotating the apps without actually producing anything.
Yeah. So do like at least 3 posts a day.
Yeah.
And then at the end, invite people to work with you.
Yes.
Okay. 3
And
times a
so
day.
I make it, okay, so one of my clients went through all of my content in my Facebook group last month and
Yeah.
like analyzed it. And so what the outcome was that I had put out 111 pieces of content in 28 days. Some of them were just like in my Facebook group, which are like every day in my Facebook group, I have pre-scheduled engagement posts. And so like if I didn't count those, I
Yeah.
still put out like 90 or like 85 or something pieces of content that I wrote, which is about 4 pieces a day that I created. And at least half of them had a call to action or sold in some way. So out of like 4 or 5 pieces of content a day, 2 or 3 I was selling. And some of the other ones I was just like giving value or telling stories.
Okay.
Which giving value right now, again, is another shift that we're seeing in the industry. We're going to start seeing the people that are just like, here's a screenshot of all my Stripe notifications. This is why you should hire me. That's going to start falling away. And people are getting more connected to the people that are actually like walking their talk. And it's not just like, hey, look at me. It's also, hey, look at my clients. It's, hey, go get this thing. Like, last week as people were getting ready for Black Friday, I put out a written piece and like recycle, everybody, recycle. I put out a long written piece and I was like, if you're trying to get more sales this Black Friday, like here are some directions I would go. And I was like, if you're in health and wellness, talk about this. If you are in like relationships, talk about that. If you are in business, talk about this. And then I made 3 reels, one for each of those like categories of service provider. And one of my girlfriends, who's not a client, did what I said in the reel for her niche and got a consult and a client from it. It was worth $6,000 to her.
Okay.
And so I just gave that. Like, obviously, I would love to have been paid for that. But when you give in a way that people can not just consume for entertainment's sake, but actually implement, they are more likely to pay you because they're going to be like, if I can get this for free from her, imagine what I'm going to get paid from her. It's going to be nuts.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah.
I've heard that, I don't know what you think on this. I would love to get your opinion, but I've heard that you're not supposed to give like tips
Yeah.
because tips cannibalize your coaching. So you're supposed to just give like the what and the why, or like these are the main myths or these are the main problems, and just give the what and why, but don't give the tips or don't give the how. Is
Yeah.
that, yeah?
I
Okay.
hate it. I hate it. I hate it because of what people are wanting more now. And the way I have always looked at this, and this, I think that this has a lot to do with my personal success and the success of my clients, is I don't think that you can give too much. Because when I'm giving in like, not even in this setting, because I'm trying to give something specific to you, but like, let's use that Black Friday content example. I was like, if you're in health and wellness, talk about this. And I was like, talk about like how Thanksgiving is over and you're probably feeling a little bit bloated. And you're just kind of like feeling a little fluffy, feeling a little tired. And you're kind of thinking, oh my goodness, this is just kind of the beginning. And this is what my girlfriend, this is the niche she is also in. And I think that what people can get from you when you're speaking to your audience is very like a group, and you're like, I'm trying to cover as many people in my audience in this gigantic blanket. But when they come into your world and they are one-on-one and they get some one-on-one attention from you, the advice is different.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, you can be like, here's a tip. What did you say to me? You said, you think that getting in more steps is like going to be the answer, or you think that eating more fruits and vegetables will help. I would be like, if you think eating more fruits and vegetables will help, here's why that's wrong. Here's what I would do instead. Does it work
Okay.
for everyone? Sure. Is it enough to replace working with you in a one-on-one capacity? Heck no. Like, that one little tip is not enough for them to get the accountability, the tracker, the support, the customized like meal plans, and how you get them to like go through your process. It is custom.
Okay.
So I think you should give as much as you can without like going in and giving a ton of customized support for free. Like, don't come into my DMs. I probably would help you, but if you come into my DMs, I'm going to help you, but I'm also going to sell your ass. Like, you are going to pay me by the end of it.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm not afraid to be like, you need to be in the membership. It's only $100 a month. We do this type of stuff all the time. Nicole's in it. She can like vouch for how valuable it is to be in the membership, because I am going to give you that one-on-one support in the membership. So like, it's cool that you're in my DMs right now, but I got to draw a line here. You got to come into this membership, right?
Okay.
So you want to be able to give. The other thing that I want you to be aware of is, like, I'd love to see you actually create a one-on-one package. And if you need
Okay.
help with that, I'm happy to help you. But when you're creating your content, like, being really clear on what the call to action is. And a lot of times, because people cannot hold themselves accountable and cannot implement, saying things like, DM me and let's chat. People are like, I have no idea what to say. She's going to think I'm annoying her. Like, we immediately start being mean to ourselves because we can't help it. She doesn't want to hear from me. What if she thinks I'm just trying to get free coaching from her? Like, what if she judges me? What if she hates me? And now they've just completely talked them out of DMing you. And so that's why I say to my clients in membership and in one-on-one, like, you can set up like a Google form application for free if you want. You can set up a Calendly. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't set up a fancy landing page. You don't need a fancy landing page. There was no website. I was like, literally, here's my calendar link for this Content-A-Thon. And
Yeah.
all the spots were gone within an hour.
Yeah. I
So
have
you're,
Calendly.
yeah.
Okay.
So just share that. Be like, book a call to talk to me, kind of like what I said to Joanna. Like, I would use almost exactly that verbiage of like, this is the thing that you want. You want to get healthier. You're having these false misinformation thoughts. And I'm sure you have way more than just like, if you get in more steps, it's going to help. Or if you eat more fruits and veg, that will help. You probably have tons of myths. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're full of them. Like if you're ready to actually lose the 10 or the 15 to 25 pounds in 12 weeks without diet, I think if you just said lose like 25 pounds in 12 weeks without diet or intense workouts, people will be like, and where do I put my money so that you get it? Right? Like they would totally want that. They would totally want that. But for you specifically, like I would really be talking about the holidays coming up because this is the time
Okay.
that we are the meanest to ourselves. And like I've talked about this the last few weeks, the holidays exacerbate all of our problems because it's way more stressful.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so your people want to be able to go to the holiday parties and have the holiday meals without judging themselves, without worrying that other people are judging them.
Mhm.
Like they want to enjoy the holidays. For a lot of us, like food is togetherness. And even if they're saying things like, and I want you to use this, if they're saying things like, I ate before I came, as a way to like not eat, like no one wants to be that person. Even if you eat before you go, you still want to eat while you're there.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of in this stuck space and they don't know how to get help. And they're like, in January, I'm going to really hunker down and I'm going to diet and I'm going to take this seriously. And they're not, because they're just not. 98% of 97% of people won't. And so I'd really like to see your content be speaking to December's about to start. You want to enjoy the holidays. You don't want to be worrying about how much you're eating. You don't want to be wondering if your husband's watching you eat and going, how much is she going to put on that plate?
Yeah.
You don't want to be squeezing into dresses and outfits and things to go to these parties, bullying yourself, being like, you are so fat, like you look disgusting. Everyone's just going to be staring at how gross you are. Because this is the mean shit. And I know it sounds really harsh, but this is the mean shit that we think.
Yeah.
And then being like, when you work with me, we're going to do 25 pounds in 12 weeks. You're not going to have to diet. You're not going to start an intense workout. You're going to make better choices. I'm going to help hold you accountable. We're going to work together for 12 weeks. Pick a price point. You and I can talk about this later if you want. Pick a price point. Book a call with me now to talk about what it would look like to like get your health on track, get the body that you want, feel really good about the foods that you're putting in your body while enjoying the foods that you love during this holiday season. We're going to talk about what your fitness goals are, your health goals are. I'm going to share with you what it's like to work with me. Book a call here.
Okay. I'm writing
I'm
this
just
all
like,
down. That's why I'm quiet.
no, that's okay.
I'm writing it all down.
That's okay. And this is like right on Facebook. It's going to stay. And so you can like go back and watch it anytime. But like
Oh, good.
I'm happy to help you. And it like if you do want to come into the membership, I think it would be a really great place for you. It's only $100 a month. We have a call tomorrow where you can talk about your package and how you want to offer it and what you want to include and how you want to price it and like really start niching more down on more content for it. So I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Okay. I get to see it in action.
Yes, exactly. And something that we do in the membership that most coaches don't do is when you write copy, you can bring it straight into the group and just like post it on the wall and I will like give you feedback in time.
Okay. Yeah.
So how do you
Okay.
feel about all of that information?
Good. I feel really good about it. I've got a whole page of notes and I'm glad I can go back and watch this again because that's really
Yeah.
great. I've never known like really what to say and those are really great like specific results that people can see, they can visualize it and they can really it gets into their, emotions and what they really want. So this is really awesome. Thank you, Brittany.
You're so welcome. The other thing that I would also kind of start planning for is growing your audience. Because you talked
Yeah.
about how like you don't really have a ton of friends or followers that are your ideal client,
Yeah.
in order to get sales, you've got to have the right people in your world. And
Yeah.
so either like pumping up who your Facebook friends are, or creating a Facebook group for this stuff where you put your tips and all of the people are kind of over there, or over on Instagram, really like bumping up your followers. Where's kind of your place? Where do you like to be?
Well, I have all three. Like I have, my personal Facebook page, and then I have my Instagram page where I talk, I put mostly, well, on Instagram I put mostly about tips and helping people, and all about health and wellness stuff. And
Yeah.
then, Facebook, I do a little bit more, I show the personal side of me as well,
Yeah,
and
you have
do
to.
funny stuff. Yeah. And but then I also have a Facebook group. But I don't know how to grow it. So it's not SEO optimized. I've posted a bunch of times on people's threads and other groups when you can, here's my link and why it would be great for them to join and how it benefits them. But
Yep.
it's gone really slow, and I don't have very many people in there, and I really don't know, obviously I don't know how to grow it.
Yeah. Again, this is all stuff we do in the membership to make it SEO positive, to grow it, to get like lots of eyeballs. Have you done my free workshop on that?
No. Is it in your group?
It's not in my group, but if you go to brittanybudd.com/groups, you can download it. I can also just like send you the YouTube link for it if you wanted it. But I talk about like being SEO positive. So to be SEO positive, you want to kind of like what I was saying to Joanna is like really basic, stupid words that people would be using to search. Because when we're searching, we're just like cave people. We're not trying to be fancy and use fancy words. We're just like help with weight loss, like how to lose 25 pounds quickly, how to lose 25 pounds without dieting. Like these
Yeah.
are the types of things that people are typing when they're looking for the the solutions to their problems. And so like you'd want to kind of go to more to that, like lose weight without dieting or intense exercise.
Okay.
Perfect. Here's the group for that. And then like, yes, it's awesome to like share it on other threads. But you want to be like targeting the right people and targeting the people that see the value in investing and can afford to invest. That's kind of one of the things that we kind of forget and struggle with. Like not everyone that wants the same things are our ideal clients.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And like, especially for us, like if we're targeting moms are the least likely to invest in themselves, because if you ask them to make a list of priorities, they don't even put themselves on the list.
Yeah.
And so you want to be making sure that your content is speaking to the women that see the value in taking care of their bodies and how it impacts all of their relationships. And like they're willing to invest in that. It's like when you're sharing it in other groups, like I'd be really cognizant of what types of groups you're sharing it in.
Okay. Yeah, I've been my target person has been like a woman who's like 35 or older, and like a high achiever or an entrepreneur like ourselves, that kind of thing. And yeah, so okay, I'll go to brittanybudd.com/groups and watch that training.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Awesome.
You'll love it. It's kind of long, but I've got lots of tips of like how to get engagement, how to get people, how to be SEO positive, the types of posts that I post that are like my daily engagement posts.
Yeah. Because I've got people in my group, but they're just mostly just my Facebook friends. So I have tried, and, everything I was trying wasn't working. And so I'm like, okay, I got to figure out a different strategy, because just doing more of the same is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How are you
Thank
feeling
you.
about all of the content and stuff?
Good. I'm feeling good about it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Like I said, there's lots of other things I'd love to talk to you about. So you get some clients. I think now is a really great time. I think for most entrepreneurs, the like most profitable time of year is December.
Yeah. and I try to show my transformation because I was exactly in their shoes and everything I tried didn't work.
Yep.
And so I try to show my before and after pictures as much as I can and
Huh.
show them, that I was exactly in their shoes and, I've been where you are and I have been to the other side. And this is going to help. My stuff is the bridge to help you get there as quickly and as with less heartache as possible. So I try to do that, but
Yeah.
I guess I just need to post more times. So
Huh.
like 3 times a day, and then saying the right things and then learning how to grow my audience. Is that right?
Yes. But
Yeah.
also having a package, because when you're like, DM me, if you don't
Yeah.
have like a thing that you're trying to direct them to, which would be like, I would say like a 12-week one-on-one, because that's what is your thing, like within 12 weeks. So I'd go
Mhm.
12 weeks one-on-one with a price point, because if you don't have all of that, like what your offer is ironed out, then when people do DM you, you're more likely to hold back on actually trying to sell to them and more likely to give them most of what they need for free in the DMs.
Okay. So in my posts, put the price point in the post. Is that right?
So I would go to your Calendly. And so like
Okay.
how when you guys signed up for this, I had questions. It was like, what's your name? What's your email? Tell me about your business. Tell me about what your people struggle with.
Yeah.
I would have those types of things. Like obviously what's your name, what's your email? Those are like given from Calendly. But I would be like, what are your health goals? Why is this important to you? And like, again, in the membership last week, I did a whole like bonus workshop on sales calls and closing calls and overcoming objections. So you want to get as much pertinent information in that Calendly intake form so that you're prepared, but also you kind of have an idea of what objections might come up for them, because
Mm.
people have objections because they're afraid,
Yeah.
right? They're afraid that they're going to fail. They're afraid the number one is that they're going to fail.
Yeah.
Right. So they've invested this time, they've invested this money, and they are in the same place or a worse place. And so they'll like blame the husband, blame money, lots of different, oh, well, the holidays are coming up. I don't want to have to worry about it, even though they are already worried about it. That's why they booked the call. Or, oh, we're going on a trip, or oh, this, or oh, that. They've got all this shit that they bring up, and it's all just nonsense that has to deal with their
Yeah.
fear. And so you want to make sure you're getting all the pertinent information. When I first was getting sales calls, I did not have my price point. And I didn't have my price point because I wanted as many people as possible to book calls with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that if people knew the price, they would be hesitant. And I've used this example before. It's kind of like if you decided that you wanted to be a famous singer,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't just like walk into like a huge stadium with thousands, tens of thousands of seats and that be your first performance. Your first performances are usually like in coffee shops for free.
Yeah.
And so when I didn't have my price, that's kind of how I looked at my sales calls. Like I knew I was going to be a sweaty, shaky mess. I knew I was going to probably be awkward. I knew I was probably going to say some of the wrong things. And it was like practice. Even though lots of people said yes to me, statistically, more people either no-showed me, said no to
Mm.
me, ghosted me, or said yes and then like disappeared off the face of the planet. Like
Yeah.
more than half of the calls that I did, that happened. As soon as I put my price, the number of calls that I was getting drastically reduced, but the quality of people that I was booking calls with went way up. Like they were ready to say yes. Or like,
Yeah.
so I had kind of gotten over all of those sales jitters. So when I was having calls with people that were willing to pay me $5,000, that's what it used to be for 6 months. These people were ready to pay me before we even had the call. And so I was not an awkward weirdo mess on those calls because I had done dozens where people thought that they were going to get it for like $5, right?
Yeah.
And like Now, even again, charging $10,000, the people that book calls with me, they're just kind of like, this is just a formality at this point. Like, what do you need to know from me so that I can pay you?
Mhm.
Right? And so it's up to you if you want to put your rate in it or not. And it's totally personal preference. There's no wrong answer.
So where I do want to put the price point because I do want, the quality. I want more quality than quantity.
Yeah.
So would I put the price point in my post or would I put it like in the Calendly information or what
So
do you think?
sometimes I put it in my posts, but in my Calendly, the final question is if it's determined that you're a good fit to work with Brittany to do one-on-one 6-month work to create a content strategy, the investment is $10,000. Like, are you prepared to make that investment? Why or
Yeah.
why not?
Okay.
And then I have that set up to be like a paragraph or like a short answer response.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes put it in the Calendly information, like, are you prepared to make this investment? Why or why not? And
Yeah.
then sometimes put it in your posts as well. Is that right?
Sometimes I do. If I'm being very like factual about my posts, then I'll be like, we're going to meet weekly for 45 minutes and we are going to batch out a week's worth of content together and we are going to plan events together and we are going to batch content for those events and we are going to pick price points and we are going to get Slack support in between calls, which means anytime you could message me with anything, copy feedback, doesn't matter. If I'm awake, I will probably answer you very, very quickly. If I am asleep, I will answer you as soon as I wake up again. Because like I don't do business hours. I'm a little bit ADHD. I'm a manifesting generator. Like you can message me at 10 p.m. I'll probably answer you.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff. And for that, to create a 6-figure content strategy, the investment is $10,000. Like if I'm being very factual like that. But sometimes if I'm just like storytelling, I won't.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just depends how I feel.
Okay. Okay, good. That's helpful to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, there's a lot of like nuances and like variances that I have to figure out because, it's all exciting at the beginning and you're like, you know what, I overcame this in my life and I'm going to use it and I'm going to help people and you get all excited and then, you don't realize the obstacles you have to face and the little, all the different little things that pop up you weren't ready for. And so it's easy to get confused and overwhelmed and you're like, which way do I go? And
Yeah.
so this is really helpful to like really break down the specific.
Love it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Keep me posted. And
Okay.
like I said, I'd love to invite you into the membership and like help you grow your audience, iron out what your price points are going to be, how you want to package it up and all of that good stuff. If it's a fit, I'd love
Okay.
to.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Nicole, my love, what are we selling today?
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Okay, I want to sell my one-on-ones.
Okay.
We've
I was
already
gonna say.
discussed my goals, and
Oh.
I want to write that email that you help people write. That's just like blows it out of the water.
Well, okay, so the emails are the same as the content, right? Like it's just content. Just
Yeah. Well, I figure
delivered
if I write an
differently.
email, then I can get like lots of good content that I can like,
Yeah.
share on social.
What do you feel like the big goal is for your people that come do one-on-one with you?
Change their life.
How though?
Simplifying their systems and making more money. So making like the 4 and 5 figure months a very regular thing in their business.
Okay, so immediately for me, like the freedom is how their phone turned into a ball and chain.
Yes.
They started that business and now they're glued to their phone. They're probably snapping at their children. They're probably spending, they would be similar to me with the social media habits thing where they're like, they wake up, they check their emails, they check their socials, what's going on, how many notifications do I have? Then they're trying to get their kids out the door to school. They're on their phone every moment of every day. Family movie time, phone's right there. Dinner time, phone's right there. Bedtime, husband snoring beside you. It's 1 a.m. You are awake. The glow of your phone is lighting up the room. You are just nonstop, but they're probably not creating anything. They're just stress consuming.
Oh, stress consuming.
Because they're afraid that when they're not online, like people aren't going to hire them. So it's like, this is how I make money, so I have to be on it.
Like little babies playing peekaboo.
Right. Like if I'm not holding it in my hand, then no one's coming. No one knows I exist out here. Even though for most of these people, they're not creating enough content. They're not making enough offers. They're not streamlined. They have nothing automated. And so not only are they stress consuming, they're almost like it's a numbing thing, like a coping mechanism where they're consuming a bunch of shit that has nothing to do with their businesses and is not getting them closer to signing more clients. So they're like numbing out that way, but also it makes them feel productive. I'm working. There's a new Reel audio that I'd love for you to use. And friends, this is what I do with my one-on-ones. I think of Reel audios and I'm like, this is for you. I'll have to find it for you. In fact, I have it saved for myself. And it is like a conversation between a guy and a girl. It's just a sound, so you'd have to fill it in. And it's like, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm working. Are you though? Yeah, I'm working. But like when I first saw it, the woman's like trying on shoes, and it's like her husband, he's like, what are you doing? She's like trying on shoes. She's like, I'm working. And he's like, no, really, what are you doing? And then like another shot, she's like in her car driving to like get a coffee, and she's like, I'm working. And it's just like everything, right? Like if you're holding your phone, you're working. And so it's like you could be like pretending that you're even on the toilet, like holding it and being like, I'm working. Like pretending you're in your bathtub and being like, I'm working, but like you've got your phone in your hand, or like you're pretending to cook, but you're holding your phone in your hand and you're like, I'm working. But it's like the phone is the forefront of the entire thing, where you're just not really present in anything that you're doing in your wakeful hours. You're half on your phone, you're half doing these other tasks, you're half paying attention to your kids, and you're 100% stressed the fuck out and not making the money you want to be making. And so your content needs to be geared at that, like where you feel like you're working. You're awesome, Lisa. Thanks for popping in. She says she has to go. We'll talk soon. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so like they want that freedom though, right? Like we all started our businesses to be free. Like we had this vision in our mind where we're like, the house is so bright and airy, and we're like laughing with our husbands in the morning with our coffees, and we're smiling, we're like loving each other, and the kids run in and they're hugging our legs, we're making pancakes, and like la la la, right? Like we have all these visions, or like, you know, you're on the yacht, or you know, white sand beaches, and you're just like cruising around the world and just like jet setting all over the place. And that's not at all what it looks like. Like you are so stressed out. Your heart is racing most of the time. You're pretty angry most of the time. We want to be free from all of that. And so when they hire you, you help them to streamline their processes so that they can make more money and not kind of frantically trying to manage their social media time, their clients. Like, I have no idea. I got a new client. Well, it was supposed to be for 6 months. I don't know when she started. I think it was around June. Oops, I just booked her for the whole month of December. She probably should have been done like 2 months ago. Whoopsies. Like, I have no idea what's happening here. No idea where my finances look like. Don't know what's coming in. Don't know what's going out. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants and hoping that I'll just wake up with $1 million in my bank account and everything will make sense.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, but that's not how it works. Like, to run a business, you actually have to run the business. You have to actually be a CEO. And in doing so, you hire Nicole to get the processes, to get the systems, to get the strategies, to streamline it all so you actually don't have to be glued to your phone. It's just like this thing that you're sometimes on. It's not the thing that's running your day and running your life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this again
Yeah.
to get the note.
There was kind of a
Yeah.
lot. Like, I find when I do that, there's like so many small pieces you can pick out and make content, or you can make one big piece of content. So, like, watch
No,
it.
I'll be able to like do what we do with the before and after, that we write everything down and then we pick out the parts.
Yeah.
There's a lot we can go with here. Awesome, cool. Yay.
How does that feel for your content for this week?
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna go down this vein. I like the painting the picture of, like, like the cartoon, like this is what you were imagining, and then
Yeah.
like something crashes and all of a sudden you're back in your house and you're like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, so I like that. I'm gonna write something like that. Yeah.
I love that. That could be a fun reel too. You do like a few seconds of an image, like, oh, the beach, the fancy shoes, da da da. And then, like, if you couldn't find it, I would do it yourself, but like a record scratch.
Okay.
And be like, this is what you thought it was, but this is what it's really like.
Okay.
Let's get back to that first vision. This is how I help you.
Awesome.
All right.
Yay. Okay.
Yay. I can't wait to see what you create, my love.
Me too. Thank you so much. I'll bring
You're
it to the
welcome.
group tomorrow. Yay.
Perfect. Is there anything else?
No, I've got a lot to work with. I'm excited. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, friends, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and all these beautiful women today. Glory popped on and off a bunch. It seemed like her internet wasn't quite working because when she was on video, she was frozen. It was just kind of seemed like it wasn't working. So we will connect with Glory at another time. For those of you that are ready for a 6-figure content strategy and you do want to work with me one-on-one, where we meet for 45 minutes every week, we batch out and create all of your content for the week. We create your VIPs, I like to call them, where you give tons of value and tons of information to your audience. Sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's free. This is up to you. We work on that together. We create content to fill those things up, to sell them out, to hit your goals, and make it so that your content is actually creating and converting clients and making cash for you the way it should be. If you're going to show up, you may as well be getting paid for it. And if you're not getting paid for it, something is wrong and I can help you. You should be able to make at least 6 figures a year simply through your organic content. I've done it multiple years over and over. This is how we do it. This is what we want. There's no reason you can't have it. Like, let's make a lot of money together. The investment is $10,000 to work with me for 6 months privately. You get tons of implementation, tons of customized support. And like I said, 10K to make 6 figures, well worth it since you're not doing it yourself right now. Let me help you. I am the expert. And if you're not quite ready for that, the membership is always available to you. I will put the links in the comments so you can join. The membership is amazing. We have a 90-minute group call tomorrow. The investment is only $100 a month. You get on-demand access to all of the trainings, all of the workshops, all of the goodness, an amazing workbook, and the support of a beautiful community that includes Nicole. All right, friends, have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you all later. Bye.